this last image that Paul gives us of armor, right? Being ready for battle. What does he say? The whole armor of God, right? The belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, readiness given by the gospel of peace for your feet, so you're completely covered in armor, right? The sword of the Spirit, and the helmet of salvation. We're good to go, right? We're ready to go into battle. Except all these things are presented in a defensive way. In no way in this passage does God say, go on the attack against Satan. Right? Paul's not saying that. He's saying, put on all this so that in the day of the evil day, whatever that is, in the day of the disaster, you may withstand the assault of the devil. It's purely defensive. And what does he boil that all down into? Well, what we just talked about with the younger members. The Word of God and prayer. The Word of God and prayer. And a particular prayer, in this case, for all the saints. And Paul said, particularly for me, too. Right? All the saints. All our fellow disciples. Prayer for each other, that we might stand firm in the day of this darkness that he's writing about. And this evil comes to us in every way possible. Against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over the present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Oh, thank you. Was that the semaphore was for too? There we go. Now I don't have to shout so much. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Was that the little signal?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You know, in the church that I grew up in, right? Of course, the organ, the nave was probably almost maybe half again as long, maybe as long as our whole building, and the altar was about the same size, the altar area, the chancel. And so we always had a procession. Now the organ was set back in some place probably outside this door. So the organist was behind the organ, and there was no way the organist was going to be able to see all the way down to the end of the church. So someone had put a light by the organ. And there was a button back in the back of the church to let the organist know when everybody was ready to start the procession. And he'd press that button, right? Yeah, and then the organist would know and he'd start to play. So maybe, Jim keeps talking about a shock collar, but, there's something we need. We need something for the pastor. I do. So Paul stacks up these againsts, and really it's an against in every direction. The rulers. So as this evil rises in its last gasp, the rulers, our rulers, will be part of that evil, many of them. The authorities, many of the authorities will be part of that evil against that oppression. The cosmic powers, the powers of the air, of the spirit world, of things that are beyond what we can normally comprehend, will be part of that assault. And even the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. So from heaven to earth, all creation will be under assault. And Paul doesn't call for us to go on the attack. Paul calls for us to use what God has given us, His Word and prayer, to stand firm, to not be moved, to resist the assault, holding up the shield of faith to block the flaming darts of the evil one. Stand firm. Don't charge the hill. Don't try to take more territory. Stand firm. You've been put in the place you're supposed to be. Stand firm against these assaults. And let the power of God take care of things. Now, already defeated. This evil is already defeated. It may still be able to inflict harm on us. It may still be able to disrupt things. It may be able to pervert and twist all kinds of things. But it's already defeated. And it was defeated on the cross. Jesus Christ defeated the power of evil on the cross. By His death, by His resurrection, by His divine power that in the beginning created all things and in the end makes all things new. He's done it for us. And He simply says to us, trust me, trust my word, and stand firm. Stand firm. Pray for one another that you may stand firm. Pray for one another, as Paul says, right? That I may open my mouth boldly to proclaim the mystery of the gospel. Which is what? What is the mystery of the gospel? What do you think the mystery of the gospel is? I heard someone start to say something. Yeah! One who died has been raised to life again and will live forever. And promises us the same thing. Asks us to trust Him, to follow Him. That's the mystery of the gospel. Doesn't explain it, it just says it happened. And it's coming for us. It's coming for everyone who looks to Jesus, listens to His word, lives it, and follows Him. That takes us the same place. And that's all He asks. We may not be ambassadors in chains, but the one who opposes us is already defeated. And it's upon us to stand firm and help each other stand firm. We got Apostles' Creed.